Hey SnapFlash fam, today we take you to Botswana, where the nation has just marked Sir Seretse Khama Day, a day of reflection, celebration, and some emotional truths. The legacy of Botswana's founding father took center stage, but it's what his son, Ian Khama, revealed that made headlines. Let's unpack it. Did the Khama family face political persecution after building Botswana's foundation? And why did they choose this national holiday to speak out? Stick around. This one's about legacy, justice, and unexpected political twists. Before we dive into the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a SnapFlash moment that matters. Let's get into it. On July 1st, Botswana honored Sir Seretse Khama, the visionary who led the country to independence in 1966 and laid the foundation for one of Africa's most stable democracies. But this year's celebration wasn't just a tribute to the past. It became a platform for the present. Speaking on behalf of the Khama family, former President Ian Khama honored his father's legacy of unity, democracy, and justice. But then, things got personal. He claimed the Khama family had suffered unprecedented persecution under the previous Botswana Democratic Party government, including raids, arrests, exile, and false charges.
When the feeling of betrayal by my parents that they would have felt when they were forced into exile and ripped from their home, from their people, and from their country, by those we leaned on for fairness and understanding, conniving with the apartheid regime, all because of love for one another, that they had to endure this enforced parting. That's how I came to be born in England and lived there for the first few years of my life. Some years after my father's return, he joined with others to plan the independence of this country, and in the 1960s was part of the Legislative Council that negotiated our independence from the British, and we achieved self-government, and he became the first Prime Minister and only Prime Minister, and then became President in 1966, for which you are here to commemorate. I'm proud that I come from a family that has provided service to the nation. My own mother worked in charitable causes, being president of the Botswana Red Cross Society, the Botswana Council of Women, amongst others. My sister, who worked for many years at the University of Botswana. My one brother, Tsekedi, who also became a member of parliament and minister in two administrations. His brother and my brother as well, Tony, who also served on the UB Council. So for them, that has been, and for me, a great achievement of service. But then, fast forward again to 2018, and the character of betrayal, persecution, and vindictiveness, this time not by the British, but by our very own, raised its evil and ugly head when my family, my friends, the tribe, and anyone associated were targeted in an unprecedented and criminal manner. Standing here as I am, representing the Khama family, as shown on this program, on this occasion commemorating Sir Seretse Khama, I would be failing in my responsibilities as such, not to draw attention to the unprecedented persecution the family of Sir Seretse has been subjected to in recent years. The family of the man we are here to honor were forced to leave their country after more than 60 years living in peace and harmony, where we were raided in theirs and our parents' homes. Our residences were searched and sealed, detained and assaulted and falsely charged, and there were attempts at poisoning, causing most of the family to move outside our country. My father would have been shocked and disgusted at the abandonment of rule of law and human rights that we and many other Botswana were subjected to. No person calling himself a Botswana could act in this way. It is ironic that one of my father's and my successors from his party, the BDP, was directly responsible for treating the founding father of this nation's family in this way. Ironic also is that the successor of leaders of a party, the BNF, that was in opposition to my father's party, should be the one to provide the conditions for Sir Seretse families to return, and who also attended my sister's funeral when no one prominent from my father's party did so, whilst trying to prevent it happening in the Soroi Kota in our village. For this, and I wish Re Boko had been here, I wanted to personally thank him. To thank him on behalf of the family for allowing us to reclaim our rightful place back in Botswana amongst our fellow citizens, and for attending my sister's funeral, which we were prevented from doing. And Minister Mohaswa was also there. So to you, Raiz, for bringing this about.
In a surprising shift, Ian Khama praised current President Duma Boko and the UDC-led government for allowing the family to return to Botswana. He called it ironic that a party once opposed to his father's now protects his legacy. Although President Boko was absent due to illness, Minister Moeti Mawasa and Speaker Dithapelo Kiorapetsi stood in his place, describing Sir Seretse as a pioneering leader and architect of Botswana's democracy. In his remarks, Minister for State President Moeti Mawasa says today marks the celebration of a pioneering leader, Sir Seretse Khama, who transformed Botswana from one of Africa's poorest nations into a middle-income economy.
Mme ke swantse gore ke tlhalose gore rona re le puso ya gompieno re tsaya gore ke sebaka sa gore la ke tlhalose gore ke tsatsi la ntlha re le lemoga ga re sa re fetola puso ngogola. Mme gape se se teng ke gore ene se ne gore na dumela mo go sone tshwantse le sone re se lemoge a dumela gore tshwantse gore batho ba nne le tshwanelo ya gore ba ntshe maikutlo a bone se e leng gore le puso e ntsha re tsaya gore re ithutile go le gontsi mo go ene le bane le gore ba na berekisanya le bone ba e leng gore ba gakologela go na le nako ngwe mo dipolotiking tsa lehatshe le tse e leng gore bangwe ba ne ba ganetsa ba ne ba se batela ke mowa wa go thaela go ganetsa bangwe ba ne ba bua gore ga ke ra tswela hela re na le batho ba e leng gore go ya dithophong ba nna ba henya bangwe e bile go na le puo e ne e buiwa e ne gote a se nako ya gore ano re ye go sekgweng bangwe ba ne ba le mo pusong ba ne ba bua ke gakologela mongwe nne e le baeteledipele ka nako eo re yo ntetseng dinyawo yo e leng gore o ne a busa a na le Seretse Khama a bitsa rekora go be a bua gore ga le ka tsamaya la sekgweng ra go leganya o lela gone koo ra go hetsa le lona gone koo e dikgang tse di bua tsa dinyawo mme ke tsaya gore mose se le teng re le rona re le baeteledipele ba gompieno re tshwanetse gore re ithute gore go harologana le motho ka maikutlo go harologana le motho ka megopolo ga se molato ke bontha bongwe ja puso ya batho ka batho re tshwanetse gore re letelle e be re godise puso ya rona ya batho ka batho ka re puso ya batho ka bone ka batho ka etseng ka teng ke thulaganyo e neng o lwela go tokagatsa ga ne o le teng ngwaga o ne o heta. Democracy is about the fight or the struggle for zero defect. Mme ga nke this is not attainable. Wanda ntse tswela o tokagatsa go bona gore lehatshe la gago o le isa go pele.
Speaking on behalf of the President, the Speaker of the National Assembly said the day serves as a reflection of the national principles of democracy, peace, respect for human rights, good governance, development and nation building as laid by founding President Sir Seretse Khama. One of the most powerful moments? Ian Khama presented a 130-year-old collection of British newspaper clippings documenting the 1895 trip of 3 Botswana chiefs to London, a bold mission to protect Botswana's autonomy. He had hoped to share it with President Boko, but instead handed it to the Speaker of the National Assembly. Do you think the Khama family was unfairly targeted? Was this the right platform to raise those issues? Or does legacy demand truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. If this story moved you or made you think, hit that like button and subscribe for more powerful narratives from across the continent. And hey, turn on that bell so you never miss a story that matters. As Botswana commemorates what would have been Sir Seretse Khama's 104th birthday, it's not just about remembering the past, it's about protecting the values he stood for: justice, dignity, and unity. This year's celebration showed that legacy lives not just in monuments, but in courage to speak up. Thanks for watching SnapFlash, where Africa's stories shine. See you next time.
Fearless.